It began in the kind of town where nothing ever really happens. Belle City, Michigan. Population, barely a blip on the map. The kind of place where everybody knows everybody. And high school basketball games are the highlight of the week. It's quiet, safe, predictable, or at least it was. In 2020, a 14-year-old girl named Lauren Lucari started receiving text messages from an unknown number. At first, they seemed random. Short insults, little jabs about her looks, her clothes, her body. But then, they got personal. The texts claimed her boyfriend, Owen, was cheating, that he didn't want her anymore, that another girl was willing to do things she wasn't. Imagine being a teenager, already fragile, and getting that from a number you can't block, because it keeps changing. And then, the text stopped. For almost a year, silence. Lauren tried to forget. Maybe it was a cruel prank. Maybe it was over. But it wasn't. It was only just beginning. 11 months later, the messages returned. This time louder, darker, and constant. 30, 50, sometimes 70 texts a day. Explicit, vicious, obsessive. Whoever it was knew exactly how to hit her insecurities. They tore into her appearance, they mocked her body, they ridiculed her relationship, and they wouldn't stop. Lauren and Owen tried everything. Block the numbers. Pointless. The stalker used apps to generate new ones. Tell friends? No one knew anything. Parents got involved. Meetings were held at school. But still, the messages kept coming. And the tone was shifting, moving from jealousy to rage, from insults to commands. The bully told Lauren she should kill herself. She was 15 years old. By now the whole town was talking. Parents pulled their kids aside, whispering theories. Was it another girl at school? A jealous ex? Maybe Chloe, a teammate who'd never really gotten along with Lauren, and who had a crush on Owen. Police questioned her. She even handed over her phone, clean, not a trace. And then the stalker sent a message gloating. They took my phone and found nothing. Losers. It was like someone wanted Chloe to take the fall. Weeks turned into months. The harassment escalated. Creepy photos started arriving. Shots from behind Lauren's car. Pictures that proved the stalker was nearby, watching. Other suspects came under fire. Owen's cousin, classmates, friends. Each time the police grilled them, desperate for a lead. Each time the texts continued. For over 2 years, this torment ruled Lauren's life. She stopped dating. Owen tried moving on, but the stalker targeted every girl he spoke to. Entire friend groups were pulled into suspicion. Kids were traumatized not just by the texts, but by police questioning them, treating them like criminals. And all the while, Lauren was unraveling under the weight of relentless abuse from an enemy she couldn't see. Finally, after years of dead ends, the FBI stepped in. Cyber specialists traced the messages back to an app called Pinger, which allows users to mask numbers. Subpoenas were issued. IP addresses were pulled. And then, everything pointed to one location, one house, one person. When investigators knocked on the door, they weren't there for a classmate. They weren't there for a jealous ex. They were there for Kendra Lucari, Lauren's own mother. The woman who had sat in school meetings demanding answers, who had comforted her crying daughter, who coached her basketball team. For 2 years it was her, behind every threat, every insult, every message telling her daughter she wasn't good enough. She had been tormenting her own child. The motive? No one could quite pin it down. Some believed it was jealousy, envy of her daughter's youth, her relationship, her future. Others suggested a warped form of control, a twisted Cyber-Munchausen syndrome. Create the problem, then play the savior. But the truth was darker. This wasn't a moment of weakness. It was thousands of moments, day after day, message after message. When confronted, Kendra tried to deny it. Then she admitted some of it. She blamed trauma. She blamed stress. She insisted she hadn't sent the first messages, only the later ones. But the digital trail was undeniable. It all led back to her. For Lauren, the revelation was shattering. The unknown number wasn't a stranger. It wasn't a classmate. It wasn't even an enemy. It was the person who was supposed to protect her, her own mother. Kendra Lucari pled guilty to 2 counts of stalking. She was sentenced to just under 2 years in prison. But no prison sentence can erase what happened inside that house. The betrayal, the lies, the nights spent crying over messages her mother was secretly sending from the next room. Lauren is 18 now, free to move forward, but burdened with a truth most of us could never imagine. That the biggest threat to her safety wasn't out there, hiding in the shadows. It was right beside her, disguised as love. And in Belle City, the question still lingers. If even your own parent can become the monster behind the screen, who can you really trust? If this story left you shaken, subscribe for more true crime cases where reality proves far stranger than fiction. Because sometimes, the monsters aren't out there in the shadows. They're sitting right beside us,